Hi, I'm Erik Voss, and Pokémon Detective Pikachu has arrived with a trailer for this live-action Pokémon adventure mystery. And if you're like me, this may have brought up some questions. Where did this movie come from? Why is Pikachu talking with Ryan Reynolds' voice? And most importantly, where did my mom hide my old Game Boy because I'm feeling a sudden urge to catch things? I'm gonna break down this trailer shot by shot for all the fun little details that you might have missed and explain what exactly this movie is and why it could turn out to be a super charming hit that would justify being a grown man and spending money on plush dolls. Spoiler warning in case any of these predictions end up revealing too much, and let's get started.
Welcome to Ryme City, a celebration of the harmony between humans and Pokémon.
Okay, this opening clip introduces our hero, Tim Goodman, played by Justice Smith. You may have seen him in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. He's arriving at Ryme City. This movie is adapted from the Pokemon spin-off game Detective Pikachu, which came out earlier this year, actually in 2016 in Japan. This game is a bit different. It has a talking Pikachu who helps Tim Goodman investigate a mystery behind an R drug that's released, causing Pokemon to rampage. And the setting in the game is this place, Ryme City. It's somewhere in the Alola region, the 7th main region established in the Pokemon universe. And looking closely at this opening crowd shot, it is filled with various live-action Pokemon. There are actually 2 Dodrios. He also passes a Charmander. Up in the air, you can see a Comfey floating among some Flabébé. There's also some bird-type Pokemon. Looks kind of like a Pidgeotto, maybe a Fearow, and a huge Braviary perched on the ground. And looking deep in the background of the crowd, there's a Buffalont and a Venusaur lumbering around way back there. Really, this is a fully integrated Pokemon world. On the buildings on the right, there's a sign for berries. Those were introduced to the games in the Gold and Silver generation. And in the next shot, we meet Lucy Stevens, a reporter who teams up with Tim in Detective Pikachu. She has a Psyduck, like Misty. But Psyduck was pretty unwieldy. That was more of a who had who situation. And behind them, you can see inflatable parade balloons for Gengar and Jigglypuff. And one last detail before I move on, I like how they featured this music.
Tim.
Which you might recognize as the opening music from the Pokémon game. Cool! Let's move on.
Your dad was a legend in this precinct. If you were anything like your dad.
I'm not.
In this clip, Tim learns about his decorated police father, Harry Goldman, from Harry's friend, Detective Yoshida, played by Ken Watanabe. Now, whatever happened to his father, it's clear Tim starts the movie feeling a bit disconnected from his old man. But I'm guessing through his relationship with Detective Pikachu, Tim will hopefully fix these daddy issues. And we can see Tim with some probably mundane desk job, with the mystery of his father leading him into the world of animal catching and cage fighting. Like, I'm not judging, I'm just saying this world we've spent our childhoods obsessing over has some weird ethics. On to the next clip.
I remember. You wanted to be a Pokemon trainer when you were young.
Yeah, that didn't really work out.
Okay, here we see Tim going through the bedroom, covered in all these posters of major Pokemon battles, as if they're boxing matches. There's some interesting matchups here. Dragonite and Hypno. My money's probably on Dragonite there. I like that they include the Pokemon dollar currency symbol with the P with the double strike through. There's also a poster for a fight at the Johto Sport Club. Johto is the name of the 2nd major region in the Pokemon world. And there it's Articuno versus Steelix. Yeah, okay, metal types are pretty strong against ice. This would have to be one tough Articuno for that to even be close to fair. There's also a championship poster for the Cerulean Arena, presumably that's in Cerulean City in Kanto. That's where Misty's gym is located. And over the desk, you can see a poster showing a Loudred. That's the super loud Pokemon introduced in Generation 3. And above the Pikachu ear headboard, another poster shows the Sinnoh Championship 24, Sinnoh being the 4th region. And one more poster behind Tim appears to show Zekrom and Reshiram. Those are 2 of the 3 members of the Tau Trio, legendary Pokemon of the Unova region introduced in Generation 5. In this 21st birthday card for Tim, it looks like he had been invited to come stay in Ryme City with someone having bought this train ticket for him. And if you look closely, you can see that the departure city is Leaventown or Leventown. Now, most of the cities in Pokemon feature some kind of wordplay, so I suppose this town's whole reason for existing is to be a place that you leave. And let us move on.
Know how to use this.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
I know, you can't understand me, but put down the stapler or I will electrocute you.
Okay, in this section we meet this movie's Pikachu, a detective voiced by Ryan Reynolds. Now I will say it is a little weird for Deadpool to be the voice of Pikachu. At first I was like, are they just trying to do what Marvel did with Bradley Cooper and Rocket Raccoon? Really, Reynolds brings a kind of gruff, rough around the edges hard ass that best matches the voice from the Detective Pikachu game, which is one detail players of the game really enjoyed.
Don't tell me you confused this guy for me.
I also just really like the animation detail to give Pikachu a furry texture. It just makes the character seem so much more tactile and weighty and huggable compared to these smooth designs that we've seen in other animated versions, where he looks kind of like a yellow water balloon. Next clip.
Did you just talk?
Whoa. Did you just understand me?
Oh my God, you can understand me. Stop. I've been so lonely.
Okay, here they realize that Tim can understand Pikachu's words as English, as opposed to the Pika Pika sounds that everyone else hears. Now, I don't want to think too hard about this, but this does bring up questions. Like, Pokemon are animals, they're monsters. The sounds they make, some version of their names, or sometimes just roaring or growling, are like the general sounds that any other animal would make, not a sophisticated language with specific words that translate from it. Like, when a dog barks at you, it's not a dog language that could be translated to English. Sorry, Doug from Up, your brain does not work like that. You're a dog. There is a world of difference from a German Shepherd barking at us and a German Shepherd speaking German to us. Now we can assume Detective Pikachu is just a way smarter Pokemon from all the others, the way Detective Cumberbatch is smarter than all other humans. But that doesn't explain why only Tim can hear him. Like, either Tim would have to have some kind of unique auditory nerve, or more likely Tim and Detective Pikachu just share a magical connection. But would this mean that each and every Pokemon has a human soulmate somewhere out there who can understand them? And they're just yelling words at us constantly, hoping that we're the ones for them? And somehow only one pair has found each other? That's tragic. I don't know, it just makes you think twice about locking them up in tiny balls and making them fight each other. Moving on.
They try to talk to me all the time. All they hear is Pika Pika.
You can hear him, right?
Pika Pika! Yeah, Pika Pika Pika, he's adorable.
You're adorable. They can't understand me, kid.
Can no one else hear him?
Okay, in this section there are a ton of Pokemon sightings if you look closely. There's another Dodrio in the middle of this lane, as well as an Audino. And on top of one of the booths you can see a group of Emolga, and it looks like you can see another Flabebe near them. On the bar top of one of the booths on the right are a few Joltik, and a Charmander uses its tail to heat the stove at another booth that Pikachu passes. And in a later shot of the street, you can see another Venusaur beside Tim, and what kind of looks like a Golurk way in the background. Now, when this couple interacts with Pikachu, the voice reverts back to a familiar one. The movie got the original Pikachu voice actor, Ikue Otani, to do it. And maybe I'm just seeing things, but don't those stalks behind Pikachu kind of look like the leaks that Farfetch'd carries around? Let's move on.
I don't need a Pokemon, period.
Then what about a world-class detective? Because if you want to find your pops, I'm your best bet.
We're gonna do this. You and me.
Okay, this section hints at the movie's whole conspiracy mystery plot, suggesting that Tim's father is still alive, but that maybe a hit was put on him when he was investigating some missing Pokemon. You can see the flyers on his wall showing a missing Squirtle and a missing Pancham, which I gotta say is pretty inconvenient, because it's kind of hard to distinguish between one Squirtle and another. Oh, come on, don't get triggered. You know the sunglasses was the only way you could tell them apart. Next.
That brought us together, and that magic is called hope.
Here we can see this cool looking Bulbasaur herd, along with some floating Morlul. I love the bioluminescent effect they gave the spores. Behind them you can see Tim holding Pikachu, who appears to be injured. Maybe they're all leading them to a place to restore Pikachu's health. And next we see Jigglypuff singing at the cafe, putting a guy to sleep. I love the joke of this being an espresso bar, like the caffeine wasn't enough to resist against the song. Jigglypuff definitely looks pissed as usual, though it's hard to tell if it's holding a marker there or just a real microphone. Probably a marker. And on the wall behind them, there's another matchup poster between Machamp and Primeape, which sounds like a pretty good fight, considering they're both fighting types at their most evolved phases. And then there's this fierce looking Charizard in a cage fighting arena, followed by these three Greninjas, and then Tim and Pikachu peering into that fighting arena with Squirtle and Pancham visible. Now I want to say these are the missing ones, though I don't want to assume. Maybe the reason these Pokemon are missing is that they're running away to fight in these underground fighting pits. Also beside Tim and Pikachu is a Rufflet. And in the next shot, when Tim and Pikachu are escaping explosions in a tunnel, chasing them are a couple of Apion. And maybe it's a light, but doesn't it kind of look like their eyes are glowing? Maybe they're just pissed, or maybe they're high on that R drug, if the movie follows the plot of the game. And before we move on, there are some shots of Tim and Lucy with Pikachu and Psyduck, watching as the terrain bends up over them like it's Inception or Doctor Strange or something. Now this could be caused by another legendary Pokemon, maybe something like Torterra, but I don't think Torterra's that big. Maybe this is like a herd of Onyxes pushing up the land like this. Moving on.
We got ways to make you talk. Or mine. Tell us what we want to know. Pushing. My problem is that I push people away and then hate them for leaving.
He's saying you can shove it.
Okay, that's it. No, we're switching roles. I'm bad cop. You're good cop.
No, we're not cops.
In my head, I saw that differently.
Okay, I gotta say, Mr. Mime has always creeped me the hell out. Like, how is this an animal? Is it wearing clothes, or is that its naked skin? Are the shoes part of its body, or does it put them on? Is there a Mrs. Mime? Probably not, since Mr. Mime can be female sometimes. I don't know. And in case you're confused what Pikachu slammed into there, Mr. Mime is probably using its move Barrier. It's very effective. And on to the last clip. Okay, in this last clip, Pikachu can be seen running from the Greninja, suggesting that these things are henchmen of whomever the villain is. We also see Psyduck using some shockwave attack, which could be Psyshock or Psybeam, Psychic, maybe just a real badass version of Screech. And it ends with Pikachu falling into the open jaws of Charizard. I'm thinking that maybe in order to save these missing Pokemon who ended up in the fighting pit, Pikachu might volunteer his tribute to try to topple the ranking champ and spare them its wrath. Charizard is part flying type, like Electric Pikachu would have an advantage there. I mean, if this was just every episode of the animated series, it would just end with Pikachu using Thunderbolt and blowing everything up. Charizard is blasting off again! Speaking of which, here's what I want to know. Who do you think is the villain of this movie? Team Rocket? Mewtwo, who is a Pokemon that Detective Pikachu has a history with in the game, or someone else? Comment down below with your thoughts. Thanks to our sponsor, Skillshare, for helping us make this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes in design, business, technology, and more. Its premium membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality classes on must-know topics, so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. While watching this trailer for Pokemon Detective Pikachu, I'm amazed to see the detail in the animation and how the designers really nailed that idea of some Pokemon looking cute and huggable, and others being terrifying. This all got me really interested in the animation and film editing, a subject I know very little about. So to get started, I used Skillshare to take Rich Armstrong's class, Synthetic Stop Motion and After Effects, quick and easy techniques for handmade animations. And as someone with only the most rudimentary understanding in post-production, it was a great introduction in how to use Adobe After Effects to create some cool animated visuals for videos. Skillshare is also more affordable than most learning platforms out there. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. But we're gonna do a special offer just for you guys. The first 500 people to sign up with the link in the description below will get their first 2 months for free. Just go to skl.sh/newrockstars8 or click on the link in the description. And follow New Rockstars on Twitter and Instagram @NewRockstars. And for my sometimes unsettling hot takes, follow me on Twitter and Insta @EA Voss. And if you live in the LA area, there is one more chance this year to see my live parody show, Infinity Fan. I'm just warning you, this show has a high body count, and I can't promise Pikachu makes it out okay, but I will do everything in my power to save him. This Friday, November 16th, 8 p.m., Acme Theater, North Hollywood. Ticket info in the description below. And subscribe to New Rockstars for more breakdowns of everything you love. Now, I'm gonna get out of here because I feel like Mr. Mime is around here somewhere. Ah!